Hey everybody, it's Matt Shu from Upright Health, and today I wanted to talk with you about good sleep hygiene. This video is actually inspired by an email exchange that I had with James in Hawaii, who has been using the FAI Fix to help his hip pain problems. He's been making some pretty dramatic improvements, but he recently started to discover that there are some other aspects that are really helping him make even more improvements to his hip and just to his overall level of happiness. So I thought I would share some of that conversation so that it can help other people out there who are dealing with pain, problems, whether it's hip, back, shoulder, whatever it is. So James basically has been doing the FAI Fix for a while. He's been making improvements to his hips, and so he's recently started doing some better sleep hygiene things in order to help his body recover. He's also started doing some cognitive behavioral therapy and also added low to moderate intensity cardio to help his body just feel more comfortable. And so James was asking me if I've ever heard of that combination of things helping somebody who has chronic pain. In his case, he was told he has fibromyalgia, which is a very big topic that we'll save for another video. But basically, he's wondering if we've seen people who benefit from being a little more strict about their sleep habits and learning how to deal with stressors, mental and emotional stressors in their lives, which is what cognitive behavioral therapy can do. Now, I don't think I've talked much about this in the past, but one of the things that actually helped me a lot in dealing with my own chronic pain was actually a mindfulness-based stress reduction course. So there's actually a meditation course. It's not anything weird, crazy, pagan, devil worshipping, whatever. I've heard all kinds of different people's preconceived notions about meditation, but it was like a 2-month course that basically taught you how to basically calm down and recognize where your own mind was sort of driving you crazy and causing you extra stress. That course was actually really helpful for me in terms of being able to identify when I was really just going off the rails for no good reason, and in doing so was causing my body to tighten up in ways that were just becoming uncomfortable, and adding more discomfort on top of the discomfort that was already there. So for anybody who's dealing with chronic pain, one thing that I do think is really useful is taking that leap and doing something either like cognitive behavioral therapy or mindfulness-based stress reduction, or taking a couple meditation courses. Things like that can actually be quite useful, even if they do feel like they're a little bit outside your comfort zone. I can't tell you how weird I felt in my 20s going and doing that, but I can absolutely say that it was something that was beneficial for me to do at that time in my life, for sure. And even now, I do still carry forward some of the things I learned, and those are helpful. In terms of sleep hygiene, I think for people who are dealing with a lot, especially if you're dealing with just generalized aching in the sense that everything is hurting everywhere, which kind of dovetails with this whole fibromyalgia thing. For me, I couldn't believe what a difference better sleep hygiene made. That doesn't mean I'm super strict about it anymore, but in the past, when I was having tons of pain and just aching and just generalized I just feel like crud, one of the things I found consistently helped was making sure I did not use any electronic devices, meaning cell phone, tablet, or laptop, at least 1 hour before bed. So if I gave myself like 2 hours before bedtime where I was not dealing with any of those devices, any of this or any typing, any of that stuff, if I didn't do any of that for like 2 hours before bed, even an hour before bed, I would be orders of magnitude more comfortable when I went to bed, and I would be so much more comfortable when I woke up in the morning. Like, it would just be more clear. My shoulder wouldn't be painful, or not painful, but it just wouldn't be achy. I wouldn't feel that weird tension going through my arm that I used to get, actually on both sides, but more on my right side, the mouse hand. I think it's helpful. I still think it's extremely helpful for me and for other people to actually make sure you have that safe zone before bedtime to let your brain relax. Using these devices, being on the internet before going to bed, not only does it get your brain super scattered and used to kind of multitasking and chasing and looking for and seeking different things all the time, it just sort of tires out and scrambles your brain. Not only does it do that, but it's also getting you tense, right? You just imagine what your body is like when you're hunting for something, when you're ready for action, which is basically what being on the internet makes you do. When you're doing that, your body is constantly tightening up. Some of you may have experienced this too, but like when you might be sitting on your couch doing stuff on your phone, and when you put it down, you realize like, oh, my forearms feel tight. I might be a little bit sweaty. I just might feel like my neck, I can't look up anymore. Those things happen because you're in this heightened state, looking at this device, hoping you find that magical thing that's going to satisfy whatever random urge happens to be going through your head. So basically what James has brought up, I think, is really important for a lot of people who are dealing with just generalized aches and pains, fogginess, crappiness when they wake up. So to deal with that, two really, really, really good recommendations to recap. Some sort of stress reduction or meditation course. Just try it, see what it's like. And also sleep hygiene, making sure you're getting away from your devices, letting your brain calm down, letting your body calm down before you go to bed, so that you're going in blank rather than going in with all this muscle patterning and stress, and going in with all this weird mental activity where you're constantly multitasking and finding and seeking things. I talked with James. I told him, everything you're noticing I think is true. I've definitely seen it for myself. So I thought I'd share it with you, and hope it helps you in some way, and I hope you remember that pain sucks. Life shouldn't.